Hi, I'm Dennis Stanley, and I want to give you a tour of your dashboard. And this is for those of you who have access to the LindseyJones University Home Study program. And that program is intended for restorative therapists to prepare for their CRT, RRT, now called the Therapist Multiple Choice Examination, as well as the Clinical Simulation Examination. And included with your home study package, you certainly have a book, you have flashcards, you have rapid reference card, you have audio CDs, but you also have access for all of the practice questions and practice simulations, and also another copy of the audio. You can get all of this online in your very own individualized dashboard. So I want to give you a greater tour of this. I touched base on this on the overview or the tour, but as you can see here, when you're logged in here, you should have access to the complete home study. Now, that's if you've purchased everything, then you have access to the TMC exams, and that's what EX is, and you have access to clinical simulations. In some cases, some of you have just purchased one of these things, access to the clinical sims, and then of course that'll change, or maybe you've purchased just access to the examinations. So you can look at that. Then of course you should see that your name is up here. We have a fictitious name here, Mr. Barry Harry, and then this is where you can log out, and you can also get a little bit more help with the system if you need to here. Right here is a silhouette that allows you to upload your photo. If you want to personalize this page, you certainly can. Now, as we look at this dashboard, the thing you'll notice is that there's a lot of little boxes here. Each box has information or it has things to do. So the main thing that people really want to know is, how do I start a clinical simulation or a practice exam? And that is found right here in CS and the EX modules. So if you want to start a clinical simulation exam, then you would just set view all, and right away you'll see all of these clinical simulation exams, and they go on and on. And that's covered in another video, but you can begin those in testing mode or teaching mode, and then of course you can do some amount of review. I'm just going to go right here to go back to my dashboard, which is where I came from, and show you some other elements. This is how you would access the examinations for the therapist multiple choice. What this is a test generator. You can produce randomly a full-length exam that's balanced just like the actual examination for the NBRC by just selecting full and hitting random exams. But you can also select from some static exams from an array that's here. So if you do that, of course, you can take those exams specifically over and over, and they'll be the same exam every time. Whereas if you do a random selection, then it'll produce actually a unique set of questions every single time. We'll go into this and how to operate here later on in another video, but this is how you generate an exam. You just hit start and you'll be off and running. I'll go back to my dashboard here. There is a section here that really takes you off-site to a free area called Assisted Teaching Modules. This area is just being developed. It says free demo courses, so this is not something that you paid for to get into LindseyJones University. You can actually access this off of line. When I go there, you can go to LindseyJonesAT.com, which is assisted teaching, and this will change, I'm sure, over the course of time. But we've got 2 courses there now that you can look at. And then I'll take you back. You notice when you do that, it actually takes you off-site to a separate tab if you're using a tabular browser. But I have to click over on the first tab to get back to my dashboard. Other information you'll see here is just that. It's information about you as you take the exams. Now I can't show this to you, but when you first log into your exam, or the LindseyJones University, what you're going to see is that there's a lot of gray area over here. There may be little signs that are posted above these, and it basically says that this data will begin to show you information once you begin the exercises in exams and clinical simulations. Until then, it doesn't really know how to figure out anything about you, obviously. But once you begin those exams, it'll start accumulating information like how you do with information gathering, decision making in the clinical simulations. And then on the exams, it'll talk about how well you do in terms of troubleshooting and getting patient data and managing interventions. And then, of course, this is your overall test score for the TMC exam. This is an average running score. that looks at the past 30 days to see if you're improving. And then here's some information we'll talk about more extensive later, but this is really related to how well you handle clinical simulations, omission versus commission, meaning do you choose too many options in a clinical simulation or do you choose not enough? And so we'll talk about that later. And then, of course, with regard to how you do in your cognitive analysis on the TMC exams, how you do in recall application analysis, and that'll become more evident to you as you listen to the audio and understand what that is and how to prepare and how to improve those elements in yourself. One of my favorite boxes is this one. It's called the Strengths and Weaknesses boxes, and you can look at your top 3 strengths. We default to that so we can show you the good news, but if you push this tab over here, that's the one you're really interested in. That will tell you your top 3 weaknesses. The reason why that's important, it looks kind of funny. Here's one that's called 3J, act as an assistant to a physician. We don't make up those words. These categories are exactly the same categories that you'll be graded on and given feedback when you actually take the exam. And so that's helpful because if you have difficulty in 3J and 2B and 2C, what you can do is you can go back up to your exams, and I'm just going to go there just to show you this real quick, and you could say, I want to study by subject area, and you can actually pick that subject area. So you can say, I have trouble in 3J, so you can pick that one, and you can view all of the questions in the database that are on that subject area. So it's a good way to look into that and see if you can detect what you're not getting well enough, and where that it became your weakness. And so that's really a neat box. Here is just an area that we make announcements. Sometimes we post videos. If there's anything new going on, we may put some stuff there. As this is new, we want to make sure that instructors know how to turn on exams. In your case, if with you're the home study, we're your instructors, and so we manage all that for you. But that's just a general announcement section. Over here is just some access to that changes from time to time, but some access to other home study packages, like if you're interested in the Adult Critical Care Home Study Program or getting your NPS, you can get some information there. There's a little box up here that's really rather important. This is your expiration date, and you have generally at least 6 months access, generally more than that when you sign up for the program. That should be plenty of time, but you can kind of keep tabs on when you're about to expire. In this box here, we have your recent activity, or the last 3 things that you did. Now you can see all of your activities by pushing this button, and if we look at Barry Harry's activities, it just records everything. And I can go back long time ago and I can see how I did. I can look at that result, look at the history. I can even begin that exercise again right from there if I want to. And I'll just go back to my dashboard here. Otherwise, it shows what you've done in the last 3 sessions, whether that's a clinical simulation, here's a ClinSim, and I can review that or start it again or resume if I've interrupted, and that's kind of just a quick way to manage that. So that's just a general overview of your dashboard, and I hope you have fun with Lindsey Jones University.